Good morning. Welcome back to the homestead. Sure glad you could make it. Well, I'm getting kind of a late start this morning because, it rained off and on last night. I don't know, we got about a half inch or a little over a half inch, I guess, up on this part of the property anyway. And it's kind of gloomy, but it's nice and cool. So we'll go with that. Anyway, a couple videos ago, I was working on the trench that goes from the main water line at the front of the property to the back of the property on the shop side. It goes through the orchard. And you saw me do the shuffle step and pack the trench and fill the trench and rake the trench. And then it rained. We got rained out. But I had mentioned at that point that it was really soft in the area where I had cut through that pipe, the septic overflow pipe from the neighbor's house. Anyway, it was, just keep in mind, this property was part of that property before we bought it. So it went through here and then dumped out in our culvert. I already told you all of that. And I told you I might have a hard time finding it. Well, it rained pretty good and good enough last night. And I think I found it. Let me show you. Right there. So that is either one heck of a gopher hole or that's where the water come bubbling up out of the ground. Anyway, that's where I'm going to dig. And I'm pretty sure that pipe's going to be right under there. So let's get to it. Although I can't do anything about the pipe today, there's still water coming out of it, and it's just filling up the hole. I'm going to have to wait for the hole to drain and the pipe to stop oozing water before I can do anything about it. That could be a while, but I've got a big hole. I hit the pipe. I know I'm down to it, so there won't be much digging left to do after it dries out. When that'll be, I don't know. It's supposed to rain again this afternoon, I think. I don't even know. I don't think the weather people know. It's not a big deal. I left off the last video with having to re-dig a trench that I'd already buried, and that was bad news. Although it was easy to dig, it didn't take that long. It took me a couple hours is all. I got it all dug up and ready to go. And I went to the store last night about 8 o'clock or so. I left and picked up the wire I needed. The last roll of wire I bought enough to do the job, which was a 100-foot roll, and that's what I needed to get it done. I measured this out after I dug the trench, and I needed 120 feet. Sad for me, because it's a lot cheaper to buy a 250-foot roll per foot than it is to buy a 100-foot roll. I needed 120 feet for this last one, so I went ahead and bought a 250-foot roll. Undoubtedly, there's going to be more wire we're going to need to run underground anyway at some point, so it's okay. Actually, you save a lot of money by buying the 250s, especially if you need extra. So it's a shame I didn't do that before. I'd have had enough to do both jobs that I needed to get done, the one I didn't know about and the one I knew about. But that's okay. We'll have some extra wire left over for running power to other things. That just reminds me too, we are going to need to run power to our septic pump, I guess. There's a pump that goes in there because it's an aerobic system. So we're going to relocate the pump and all that stuff, or the motor for the pump, to an area that's not right in the middle of everything. I talked to the septic guy when he put it in. I said, can that be relocated? He said, absolutely. Just let me know where. Well, we didn't know where. And that's been 5 months. I went over to the house next door, and they had an aerobic system put in as well. And their pump is 30 feet from their septic tank. So our relocating it shouldn't be a big deal. It's just going to be a matter of running lines. Anyway, back to the electrical thing. I'm going to grab that wire, and we're going to run that wire down the new trench, old trench, to where it needs to go. And then start burying the trench as best as I can. Like I say, it did rain, so everything's pretty soggy, but I won't be able to use a tractor because that'll just cause a big problem. It's too much weight. I'll have to do it by hand. But, hey, dug it up by hand. So let's get to it. Okay, cut that off where I think I need it. It's would be the back of what will soon be our front room. That's what we're calling it. It'll be like our living room kind of thing. It's a bigger building. It's 12 by 24. It'll have, you know, all your living room stuff in it. TV, couches, all that fun stuff. Game room, game area, whatever. But for now, I'm going to go take this into my shop, put a zip tie on it, bring a zip tie out here, coil this up where it needs to go so it won't get run over by a tractor, and then move on to filling trenches. It's pretty gooey. This could be ugly. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, there we go. That marks where it comes out of the ground. Cable's coiled up off the ground. PVC should protect the cable in the meantime. And now it's time to move on to the fun stuff. Burying trenches with mud. Clay mud. You know, that stuff we used to throw like on a wheel and do pottery with. Yeah, it's not that cool. Anyway, let's go start that task that I've been putting off for as long as I can today. Okay, it's not going along too bad. I'm about halfway done. Somewhere in there. Anyway, I have to stop after every rake, as you saw, to beat the mud off the tines of the rake so that it works. But, other than really heavy, it's not too bad. I'm not sure about the whole packing it down thing. I'm not sure how well that's going to work. But, time will tell. I'm not going to worry about it until I get the first fill in all the way down. I think that's about all I can do on this trench. The mud is just too muddy, it's sloppy, sticky. From walking the trench, I'm 3 inches taller than I was before I started. Can't get that mud off. So I'm going to probably help Brenda skim the top of the trenches, the ones that are over full. And which is funny because they're going to be over full for now, but it rains a few times, they may be under full when we're looking to pull that dirt back. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Got a new electrical box in, so I got to take this one out. For a second, I didn't think it had a bottom port, which would have been a disaster. But it's a huge one, so I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh no, it's way up here. I don't know if that's going to reach. That's a giant port too. What am I going to do with that? That's too small. That's too big. Too bad. Well, I'm going to have to cut this off and make this shorter. Drop the box down, which kind of makes sense anyway, because this is in the way for me to open it up with the slide out. Can't have that. That'll give me wire length. But I have to cut it off without cutting these wires. Maybe a hacksaw blade. I forgot this just sat down on the ground. Alright, I'm going to take this to my shop, cut it off. You can see in here, this is the connecting bar for the common side. This is the power side. This is the common side. Power side comes directly into here. This is a ground lug for when you have to bond the panel. And all our panels here are bonded, which just basically means that that the common side is tied in with the ground as well. So it's not a big deal, but this bar, if I can take this screw out, loosen this one, spin this bar around so that this lug is over here. That'll gain me a lot of space. Figuring this out as I go. Power goes here. Ground goes here. Common goes here. Okay, I did all those things I said I needed to do. Okay, box is mounted. Wires are hooked up in there. They're not hooked up on the other side. I'm going to have to, there is a way to trace which wire's which, since they're all black, because it's a main line. So they make something that you can hook to one wire and it'll trace it all the way to the other end. I just need to look into that. Little Google, little YouTube, whatever, and then I can hook up the other side. But for now, that's what we got going. It's the right height. I do need to do some caulking around the bottom. The punch-out hole punched out when I didn't want it to. I was trying to drill a hole that was the exact size I needed, and it just took the punch out with it. No big deal. It's a little bit big, but it'll hold on just fine. I just need to fill the gap a little bit. Other than that, everything's secure, moved around the way I need it. I'm pretty sure all the wiring's correct. We won't know, I guess, till we put power to it, but I'm pretty sure it's correct. I didn't really alter the wiring. I just altered the position of the wiring. So I didn't mess with what they had already hooked up and sent. That took longer than I thought, but everything does. But I really appreciate you watching. I'm going to take off now. We'll see you next time on the Homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share it with your friends, leave us a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You'll help the channel out a lot. And us. Thanks. Bye.